to another edition of Wrestling with Faith, the podcast that discusses all things faith-based, mental health-based, and also good old-fashioned wrestling as well. You can find details of the podcast and also follow us on social media on Twitter, which is faith_wrestling. So that's Twitter, faith_wrestling. And at the moment, until YouTube allow me to change the name, it is youtube.com, Dave Abbott UK. That's youtube.com, Dave Abbott UK. And on facebook.com/Wrestling with Faith UK. And tonight we've got another mental health session on Wrestling with Faith podcast with my good mates and brother of my best mate, Chris Lill. Chris, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you, Mr. Dave?
Yes, mate. Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah. Weather's decent, isn't it, man, where we are at the moment in Hull, in the UK. So just making the best of it, aren't we? Like, because we know what the summers are like in the UK. Like, they can turn the spin of a coin, can't they? So, yeah, all good, mate. All good. And really, really appreciate you coming on to the podcast, which is also going to be going out on YouTube as well as other platforms such as Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, and various others as well, including Amazon. So, yeah, Chris, most important question I'm going to ask you today, my friend, how are things in your world right now?
In my world right now, what can I say? It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Everything's back on track. So, just sailing right now. It's just phenomenal. And I'm positionally out and back playing my football. I'm back in the gym. I'm got my social life back. It's just, and I'm seeing my kids as well. There's nothing better than.
Mate, praise God for that, man. Do you know what I mean? You don't need money to be a rich man, do you, mate? You just need all the proper blessings in your life, man. And once you've got that, you know what I mean? You can tell everybody you're a millionaire, can't you? When things like that are falling into your lap. So, yeah, really, really pleased for you, mate. And obviously, this podcast, you know, we spoke off there, and obviously we've spoke many times. We've played football. I say we've played football. You've played. I've turned up, and you know, and obviously we've been out as well, socialised. We've been to comedy events and stuff like that, and nights out and stuff. And yeah. Tell me about your history, your battles on and off with mental health. Sort of, you know, what were the catalysts for that, and then how have you managed to rain haymakers on mental health and get back to where you are now?
Well, it all started from 2019. And obviously got married in 2016. We had 2 little babies. And then slowly the marriage just deteriorated. We just got it just eventually went into like dust. And one night sat down, we both eating a takeaway, as you do. And then all of a sudden she turned around and goes, I can't do it no more. Fucking it just hit me. I was like, what? And obviously it ended and stuff. And then like my little babes are still like really, really small. It was after like leaving that marriage is waking up nearly like most days thinking, I'm not going to wake up with my children. I'm not going to be able to have that moment to put them in bed. I'm not going to be able to do this and do that. And then to help it more, for her to like, well, it sort of damaged me a bit more. It was when she like sort of, I went to pick him up one morning. She turned around and said she was seeing someone else within 2 weeks after our marriage's thing. And that's like, well, as a guy, we all know if you overthink something like that, you know, well, how long's it been going on?
Yeah.
What's been going on behind the scenes when I've been at work trying to earn money for the family, providing and stuff like that. I mean, it's just everything like that. And sort of took myself away from that. And then just carried on, like just seeing my kids and stuff like that. And then not long through it, it got that bad. I had to leave my personal training, my dream job. So I had to like move away from it all to try finding more money for my 2 babies. So that was like sort of in my head all the time. It's like, I need to provide for these 2. These 2 are my main like thing in my life. I've basically got nothing else. I've got my 2 babies. There's nothing else really. I've got. So obviously, I had to come away from that because that was self-employment. It was my dream job. I was doing it for years. Was helping people achieve the goals, like even helps. So I sort of had to move away from all that. And then, and at the same time, I was in a 0 hour contract job. So I didn't know when your next bit of money was coming because you was always chasing every 2 weeks of, oh, well,
100%.
I've got 3 days this week. So that's that much money. And I know what I'll get at the end of the week. And then you got to try to like sort it out. So there was no stability. And I still had my babies. I was like, I need to provide and I need to be. And then I carried on with that. I had loads of support off my mum and dad, my brother. They're like my brothers and that. They're just so much support for me. There was like just pushing me. And there was always there, like when I was having a really bad day, there was like just there going, come on, get up. You just keep going. And it was great. And then it took me a year and a half to find someone else. And I thought, oh, brilliant. I've let someone back in. Obviously, things happened. Then she met my kids, I met hers. And it was brilliant. And then May 2021, we lost the baby. So obviously that hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah. Understood.
It was the thought of like my not just losing a child, but my kids could have had an extra thing, and it was a part of me, and losing that, and then me and her obviously we split up due to it was more like grievance because I couldn't show how I felt. She was so emotional for that, but I myself I couldn't show how I felt about it all. So I had to sort of like be like the man and support her, but inside it was freeing me.
Yeah.
And as a man, you've got a pride, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna cry for my partner, and that, and you take it all in, but you're like, you know what? I can't like show my feelings how I feel about of losing the baby.
Is that because you felt that it wasn't the right time for you to show, that you felt that you had to be strong for your partner, or did you feel that you just couldn't at that time just grieve? You know,
it was there, but I thought myself in my own head was like, I need to be there for her. It's in the woman, in it, and everything. She has to go through it all. She has to think in all this stuff, and that's the hardest bit for the woman is you're losing something that's inside of you. You physically have to see it thinking, and I'm like, well, I've got to show this. I've got to be that super supportive and sort of like put my grievance to a side.
Yeah, and
then it come August time, and that's when my grievance come out. It was just like bang, it hit me. So much she turned around, she's like, oh, they've got the baby ashes and stuff like that. We're going to be burning through it. That's when it hit me, and I was just like,
it feels sort of a bit more final then, doesn't it? Sort of, it's another reality check that, love it or hate it, it's been thrust upon you, and you have to deal with it, don't you? On top of everything else.
Yeah, and then it was real weird. Like we was going different places as well in that time, because I wasn't to where she looked at it, I wasn't bothered. You know, like when women start thinking like, oh, no offense to any women like that, but when they start like going, well, you don't really seem that bothered about it. And I'm telling her most times, like, come on, look, right, I'm trying to support you. My grievance, I do it separate. I'm sort of like, I want to support you through it all, and then put mine to the side, and I'll do mine in my own time, basically. And then sort of like after August time, September time, we split up. And so it was like,
so it's a snowball effect, isn't it? So like for those sort of since 2016, you were sort of almost like that, sort of peaks and troughs in terms of your mental health. There were some days that you thought, yeah, do you know what, I can cope, and then all of a sudden there's something else, and then before you know it, it stops being peaks and troughs, and then it just starts becoming stacked. and the weight gets bigger and bigger, doesn't it, on your mind?
Yeah.
And going back to the grief thing on there, and it's important for anybody else watching this and listening to this, and obviously you know more than a lot of people, Chris, is that people grieve in different ways. And some people grieve instantly. Some people, it takes weeks, months, years for that outpouring of grief to come out. Some people cope with it in different ways. So some people can go back to work. Some people need time off. Some people prefer to take it out on the gym. Some people just need the space just to chill out. Some people, they do things that for quick fixes, drink, drugs, things like that. And so there's, to say to somebody there's a right and wrong way to grieve, I think is irresponsible, because everybody, man, woman and child, deals with grief in different ways, and everybody has a breaking point. And when you look at it all comes back to mental health. How much can you mentally and emotionally tolerate from all these things that are happening in your life? So obviously that was not discounting anything else that went on since 2016, but that's awful to happen to anybody. So the aftermath of that, then, you and your partner are still together for so long, or did you more or less?
No, we went separate ways. We tried sorting it out, and basically, she basically turned around and said that, like, I don't love you no more. So in so many words, like it was on my little lad's birthday actually.
Wow.
It comes down to a point. She promised to come and see William, and she was like, "I'll come and see him." Blah blah. It's his birthday. She loved him to pieces. She was like, proper daddy. She treated him as her own, which I couldn't ask anything better. Like as a single dad, a woman coming into your life and treating your kids as their own, it's I just sounds funny, but it's a different beat to the heart to it. No, like it's like, wow, I can't believe it. Like
it's massive.
Someone else is wanting to. It's crazy. And then obviously she didn't turn up, and I was like, this is crazy. And I remember one night I was sat there, the same night, William's birthday, waiting out takeaway and that, and I was sat there. My dad could see it in my face. He was like, "What's up with you?" I said, "There's something not right. There's a gut instinct. Something's not right now." And obviously, I sort of like my head was going overthinking stuff like, what have I done? I've tried my hardest to bring this girl back into my life and tried, and I was showing the grievance to her as well a bit. I was like, you know what? I think you need to see it as well, like what I am actually grieving. But
yeah,
I think that was the sort of point where we just like separated, was when obviously me not showing the emotion. And then we just went outside, and my dad followed me out and goes, "What's up with you?" And that was it. I was explaining. I was just pure crying, like the anger as well.
Yeah,
it's like she's not just let me down; she's let my little boy down. My little lad's there going, "Oh, when's she coming? When's she coming?" Has she got out? Is she? I'm really excited. Daddy, not seen her for a while. It's telling my little lad on his birthday, "Go, she's not coming."
So again, it boils down to is.
And
it's another situation, isn't it, mate, with that, because you're in not an identical, but it's a very similar situation to when you weren't able to express your grief when all that was going on when you lost the child. But then you're in another situation there now, because you're angry, you're upset, you're at breaking point, but then again, you've almost got to try and park that or mask it, because your lad's asking questions and he's feeling upset as well. So therefore, straight away, it's like, I've got to park me again, because I need to be there for someone else, whether it's your son or whoever else. It's still somebody else that I've got to put them first. Do you know what I mean? And it kind of adds to the pressure even more, because you're like, I'm at a point now where I need to express to the world how I feel, but I can't just yet, because the little one needs my attention and he needs my support.
Yeah. It's crazy. It literally is. And then obviously not long after that, I had to go into work, and I started this new job, and it was 30th of September was my like sort of contract date really. I was already working through an agency, and then obviously it come over into like my contract date. And I was there, and people's like, "You're all right, you're all right." And it's just like, you know, when you like, because I'm like real bubbly, I'm real like out there and real like happy. And I was coming in a few days, and I just seemed like really down on that. And they're going, "You're all right, you're all right." And I literally had to take myself into like the office and basically just like talk to somebody about it. And then that was it. The floods come out. It was fine because it wasn't asking like the questions. You were sort of asking the right questions. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
How are you? What did you want to talk? And when you sort of hear, do you want to talk? You feel like your shoulders are up in, and you just go, actually.
Yeah.
And then you get back into your slump position. You're like, you know what? Here it goes. I'm sorry, but and then like at the end of it, and I was just like, I'm sorry for crying, you know, because like you're there and your emotions are just like bang. And I explained it all to him and everything like that, and he goes, "How you coped through all this and still come into work and still give us your 110%?
It's a huge
and
effort.
still carry on with your life and still not like sort of like get up every morning." Like a lot of people, it's turned around. It's like a lot of people in your position would have just gone, "No, I'm staying in bed today. I'm staying in bed today." But I knew as well, I had to go to work. I had to earn for my kids.
Yeah, of course.
They need a roof over their head. They need clothing. They need food. There's everything, isn't there? There's
Yeah,
like, you know how much kids need.
100%. You got your
need a lot.
birthdays, your Christmases, your summer holidays, and all that jazz. Like it's,
And
you know
it's
what
not
I
even
mean?
that. When you're like having them on the weekends, like I do, it's like they still want to go to like big fun. They want to go and explore. They want to
Yeah,
go. Let's go seaside. Let's go seaside. Grab an ice cream, Dad.
yeah,
Yeah, all right. And if I didn't get up every morning that morning, I'm having to turn around to my kids. Go, I'll tell you what. We'll just sit at home and do something else.
yeah.
Where I wanted to show them like money isn't everything, but when I've got it, you can have it.
Yeah, 100%. Great way to put that, mate. Great way to put it.
Like it's like if I've got like a few spare change, like ice cream van came the other day, and I think you probably saw it on social media, and all I wanted was an ice cream. I was like, you know what, we'll have an ice cream. Cost me a tenner, like, but
Yeah.
it's fine. And they sat there on the step, just like when I was little, we used to sit there with an ice cream, just feeding on the step,
Mate,
and
it was everything, wasn't it? Everything. When Ice Cream Van
yeah,
came out, it was just like
that
everyone
was
just
it.
stopped mid-game of football, mid-game of knockoff ginger block. It was just
Yeah,
like, we're going to pause this. Ice Cream Van's here was only going to be here for 10 or 15 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Mate, that was
I didn't
everything
see
back
you
then.
coming out for it, yeah.
Yeah, that
I
was
didn't
it.
see you coming
Everybody
out for
coming
it.
out from the trees and all that lot. Yeah. Oh,
I'm
that's where
right
he was
now.
hiding.
Yeah,
I'll
come
get you
on.
next time.
Doing that bus.
Brilliant,
What
that.
do you mean you come out of your house?
Yeah, get hiding in there, mate. That's bang out of order. But yeah, so like little things like that are amazing. So obviously you started talking to somebody at your new place of employment, and how did things sort of kick on, should I say, from there then? So you had this chat, you felt comfortable enough just to let it all out, everything was on the table. And how did things change both in and out of work for you then?
There was still like in work. I was more like happy. I was like, this is like my happy place. I know a lot of people think, oh, working at a happy place works like, yeah, it's work at the end of the day. A lot of people love the jobs. A lot of people hate the jobs.
Nobody should be, because it's a preconception, isn't it, that work's the enemy. And it's like, hang on a minute, if you're not that happy, feel free to give that job to somebody else who will enjoy it.
Yeah,
And still be earning just as good a wage, if not more. So people have to get out of that sort of preconception that work's the enemy, that Mondays are the enemy. And it's just like, do you know what? You've woke up, feel blessed, crack on. Do you know what I mean?
Every day you wake up, it's a day that you're going to live. And the
Nailed
day
on.
you're going to live it to how you should be.
It's another day of opportunity,
but
mate.
like saying, it is. The doors open every day. You just got to pick the right ones.
100%.
If you're shutting them doors behind you, then you're losing the opportunity to move forward.
100%, mate,
like
to see what's behind it.
If I've like said, like I'm forward all the way now. I go forward all the way. But when it comes to like little things, I can sometimes go back a bit, and I'm like, why am I going backwards? I've got forward, so I shouldn't need to drop back and like just see where, like, look at my past. Where at the moment I'm forward. I live due to obviously work and boxing and stuff like that. My head's so much clearer now. But
it's a good analogy
days?
that, like you say, when you walk it, when you sort of you're looking forward. One of the best analogies I can give to people who have the fear of regressing in mental health is just to say to them, yeah, you will have your bad days. It's all right. It's all right. You're not a robot. You are not programmed to be happy 24/7. It's impossible, because life just gets in the way. Sometimes people get in the way, and sometimes you just don't want to do the same old. And it's the equivalent, like you say, once you've got that support network around you, it's like driving a car, right? But if you choose to ignore that support, if you're not going to keep looking forward and all you do is look in the rearview mirror, you're going to crash.
Yeah,
it's 100%. Simple as that. But
it's basically like going on your phone while you're driving.
Yeah, 100%, mate.
Concentration's gone off going forward.
That's what I mean. You've looked to the left, you've looked to the right, or you've looked behind you, when all you should be doing is, because you're driving forward. Look forward, because that's the destination. That's where you're going. That's where you need to be.
Yeah.
But it's okay though as well to have the bad days, because we all have them. We just need to. What the good thing is, when like the people like you and me who've suffered with mental health, and many other people out there, especially blokes now who are now coming forward more and more, thankfully, to open up with things that you and I have spoken about off air, like Andy's Man Club, which is a nationwide UK based support network for men's mental health, but also your local, your NHS Let's Talk as well, amongst various other things that are out there. It's important to latch onto those networks and speak to people, because you're speaking to people who've already been in a similar situation to you. You're not speaking to people who've just come out of a university that have read it out of a textbook and think they're more than qualified. These are people who emotionally and mentally been through similar, if not worse, situations than you, and have taken that dark time, found the silver linings in it, and use it to support people as well. So it's so important. And on this podcast as well, on the YouTube, we will be putting links on there for people to reach out to in the comments box as well. So, it's so important, like I say, to latch onto the networks. But when we have those bad days, at least we know now we've got coping mechanisms, haven't we, Chris?
Yeah.
To be able to cope a little bit better. And there could be various different things, healthy things I'm talking about, not just, trying to look for the answers at the bottom of a bottle, or in drugs, you know what I mean? But a lot of us have been there. A lot of us have done that and used that as a quick fix, which, as we know, when we get the right support, is not the right way to go about it. But you found other things, positive things to do it, and I'm conscious we've just got over 5 minutes left. But Chris, tell us what you've been doing to help battle your mental health outside of work as well.
Well, obviously, I did the ultra white collar boxing.
Yes.
Obviously raised just short of £600 for cancer research.
Oh, that's awesome, man! Amazing.
I lost the fight, but I enjoyed it. The thing is, I enjoyed the moment. It was, call it the best thing I've ever done. Yeah. Best thing I've ever done. I enjoyed it. And then not so long ago, me and a friend called Nathan, we did the 3 Peaks for Andy's Men's Club, and we raised £235 for Andy Men's Club. Bear in mind, Nathan did it before that, the Saturday before that, and he did it, and he's done it straight after.
Wow.
So he ended up doing, like, obviously, so he's done like 6 peaks in the space of a week. Yeah. And it works out about 40, nearly 50 mile treks.
It's insane.
You don't realise you're doing it. But the minute, it's another, like, thing to, like, keep focused, just keep going. Like, and I play football for a charity team as well, which is a part of Andy Men's Club. It's another good thing. We're raising money for the men that need that help, that can know it's all right to talk. don't worry about it. You're gonna have your bad days. You're gonna have your moments of like, oh, I just want to think of this one thing. That think about the good things you've got in life. Like I was having days where I was just kind of, I don't want to do anything and that. But then I thought, I've got to get up. I've got kids.
Yeah.
What would I do if they start like if they come in, your dad just sit down, you're like, you know what? Come on, daddy, come on. It's like, come on, let's go. Like just pushes you to do these things. It's crazy. Well, my next thing is and obviously to raise money is that we're currently going to be doing the Yorkshire Dales. He's got it all planned out, so I'll be just following him. And then Cancer Research again. I'm going to be doing the ultra white collar fight in a bonus ring in December.
Excellent,
again.
mate.
So,
well, have you got any
plans.
Just giving pages or anything like that for these events that you're going to be doing? Is there any charity pages or links set up?
There will be. Yeah. There will be. They'll be getting out like 2 weeks before the event just to promote it. To say, look, this is what we'll be doing. Once I find out the pages, I'll link them.
Yeah, 100%.
Send them to yourself.
Send them across, because then what I can do is I'll update the podcast link with those links on there as well.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, I'm looking forward to actually getting back fully training for the boxing as well. Like, just try not to overdo it.
Well, that's it, mate. I mean, at least this time around, you know your limits, don't you? Now you know how far to push yourself before you get, sort of fatigued, innit? Because as we were saying off air, exercising's amazing, isn't it? I mean, I love doing it. I do it more for my mental health than what I do physical, because it just keeps the it just helps keep the evils away. But like you say, you start reaching milestones and you start pushing yourself, don't you? You think, you know what, I can smash these targets now and all this lot. And then, like you say, it's finding that balance in it between I could do, but I need to just take my foot off the gas a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
You sort of realises where your limit is as well. Like, you can always go over it, but going over it can still, for your next day, it sort of affects your next day. Like, I know my limit, and if I say I got training for like 2 days after, I'll push that limit and make myself like really, really basically feeling crap for the next couple of days, because I know I'll be going back training 2 days later.
That's right.
So I'd give it my all, and then I do give it my all anyhow, but like there's sort of you don't want to prevent an injury, really, do you? You don't want to be like, hang on a minute, I've got to still carry on. Like, I'm not getting any younger, so these injuries last for about a year.
That's what I mean. Sadly, none of us are, mate. Are we? Do you know what I mean? But Chris, it's been absolutely brilliant, mate. And I know that this testimony of yours in terms of mental health will be a blessing to a lot of people, both men and women as well. And friends and partners who've suffered with mental health, this will be a big blessing to them. So we'll get this out. Unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap it up. But what I will do is, we'll arrange for a time to catch up again later in the year, maybe around December when the boxing's up. So we'll catch that. We'll catch up then, mate, and plug it. So this has been another Wrestling with Faith podcast with Chris Lill on mental health. And please follow the links below. And always remember this: it is a strength to talk. And you can follow us on Faith_Wrestling at Twitter, and Facebook.com Wrestling with Faith UK, and YouTube.com Dave Abbott UK, ABBOTT. Chris, it's been a pleasure, my mate. God bless, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Dave.